Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you what is, in my opinion, the best way to progress from level 1 to 65 fast and efficiently in Duet Night Abyss. And I want to do it in a way that's respectful to your time, so I'm trying to hurry up. So, in case you're wondering why you should trust me, I have about 6,000 hours in Warframe and I already am 200 hours deep in Duet Night Abyss, and I hate inefficiency and wasting my time. So, before we get into it, let's get some quick rules out of the way. We're never ever getting dupes, never from secret letters. It's not happening until we're level 60 or 65. We're not feeding Geniemon. If you care about why, watch the other video. We're not ever going to farm stages until we're at least level 45 or it's absolutely necessary. We will never ever craft commission manuals because they are the single worst thing you could possibly ever craft in this game. You lose 50% of their value. And we are trying to avoid using commission manuals until at least 55, preferably level 60. What we're going to do, however, is we're going to build two teams, which are going to consist of Lynn, main character, Maggie, and also Rebecca, Tabeth, and Truffle. This is going to be our early game, but we're going to get into that in a bit. Why are we going to do this? Because the stages scale up with our trial level up to level 60, and the higher the stages, the better the rewards are, and the faster it is to progress. Also, Psyche and all the other coming endgame activities will be a lot easier if you're a higher trial level. So yeah, we're going to be building two teams, one for general content, one for AFK farming with as little time investment as humanly possible, since we don't want to farm at low levels at all if we can avoid it. Here's all the finished builds we're going to use. Feel free to play around with them as much as you want. I doubt they're optimal, nor are they set in stone. I'm 100% aware that my Lin build sucks, but it got me through everything she needed to get me through. And they quite literally clear everything still to this level 60, like the highest stages I could possibly run in the game. They still just shred it. I didn't see a reason to invest further into them at all. If you're new, don't worry about building them just yet, because we're going to go into building characters later on in the guide. For Geniemon, I've gotten so many comments about how bad they are. If you don't want to invest into Geniemon and fishing, don't, but they're about 8 to 9,000 trial XP on my account right now. Early story, as soon as you get Rebecca, she will become your main. There's no avoiding it. You're going to invest only into her for now. We want to keep progressing the story and all the side quests. If you manage to find some upgrade materials for Rebecca in the meantime, that's great. Get her talents up. We're not trying to farm dungeons to upgrade her just yet. We're going to be using her, though, the entirety of our journey, and she will be the single most crucial unit in our account. Also focus on doing your beginner's guide, because it will give you the Vein Wraith, which will also become our most used weapon for almost every single character. Should you hit a wall in the story, you can upgrade blue demon wedges and white demon wedges, focusing on skill damage, duration, range, and efficiency in this order. Once you're done with the story, you should be around level 43. Now is the time where you start running secret letters. Focus on getting Lyn first and then every single other character in the game. For weekly bosses, all characters are mid to bad in my opinion, so just get whoever you want. Tabitha is probably ideal because she synergizes with Rebecca later on, but you don't have to. If there's some character you really want, just go for it. They're all kinda bad. Just make sure to get all the characters first before you get the weapons, and by the time you have all of them, there might be new characters out already on the weekly bosses, so start working on those or then start working on weapons. Hitting 45 is the first big turning point in our account. Now our priorities shift quite drastically. The first priority is going to be almost the same as before, however. Get Lyn leveled, ascended, and max her Q ability. Follow suit with Rebecca and her E ability. You actually start running stages now. Then get Maggie's, Truffle's, and Daphne's bottom row talents. The mobs might still be a bit hard, so make sure to update your demon wedges accordingly. However, it should be quite easy. If you cannot solo it, co-op is probably still preferred. But I'd still say at least try running it solo if it's at all reasonable, because running solo is so much faster. Now with Lyn and Rebecca maxed out, our team comp consists of Lyn, Rebecca, and Maggie. Ascend all of your other characters to max ascension now. No need to level them up, however. Just prioritize main character Tabitha if you have her, Daphne, and Truffle, and then the rest. Now is my favorite part of the game, and that's going AFK. Now let's talk about the big reason why we even bothered to build out 2 DPS in the first place. Easy. We really want a DPS that can AFK farm to preserve our mental and sanity, since the next step will include even more countless hours of, to be fair, quite mindless farming, and we'll make sure that we use our AI partners to their fullest. This step is, however, fully optional, not time efficient, but allows you to do something else in the meantime that's more fun, or you just watch a show. So, the part we get into now is Demon Wedges and how to effectively avoid playing the game. Because now we want to work our way through most of the Demon Wedges we missed along the way, which will be a lot. Well, not all of them. And we're starting from level 55 and working our way down. We want to still run the same team, but with Rebecca having a real build now, or close to a real build, she should be able to solo most of the dungeons, if not all of them, at least for level 50 and 60. And that's where you're also going to farm your prime uplifts and the other primes. Once you have those and your team is actually set up properly, then Rebecca can totally solo the 65s as well. And the way you're gonna do it, the same goes for regular defense commissions. You summon Rebecca and Tabitha, and then just go and stand AFK and just wait until the thing completes. And for Expulsion, you don't even have to move to any point. For Expulsion, you just start the mission and you AFK. So, it's crucial now that we acquire as many Demon Wedges as humanly possible. Please note that the random drops are not as random as it seems. The quote-unquote random wedges only drop from stages with the corresponding element. So if you want a Blaze Volition for, let's say, Fire or Pyro, you have to actually farm the Pyro stage at level 65. Otherwise, it cannot possibly drop. Just keep farming until you have pretty much all of the purple wedges. I'd say around 85% of all the blue wedges and 75% of all the greens. I personally didn't bother with the white ones, but you can. There is no completion EXP for finishing sets of Demon Wedges, so don't stress out if you're missing one or two here. Maze and Theater are also a thing you want to look at now. Demon Wedges don't matter in Maze, but they do in Theater, so start with Maze and focus on getting the wedges I showed you in the Lin and Psyche section earlier, where I showed you the builds. You can find them under RC Demon Wedges. You can also start doing Theater now. The two teams I recommend will be Lin, main character, Maggie, and Rebecca, Tabitha, Truffle. Make sure in every comp that you run, your main DPS has Prime Morale, one support carries Prime Uplift, and the other one runs Prime Serenity. If you don't have those, focus on getting those first. Focus on farming the Demon Wedges. Furthermore, you can spam Maze as many times as you want. It's actually the best money in the game at level 60, but I don't recommend doing it before you hit 60, for the money at least, because the threads you get at 60 are quadrupled. For what to get first in the Maze, as I said, you want to focus on the Demon Wedges for Lin and Psyche, and what you want to get first in the Theater is Psyche's Weapon, the Milk, and the Fenrir's Wedge, the Demon Wedge, for the movement tech you've seen in the background. I'll put in the name on screen now. So now we should be almost level 55, or getting realistically close to it. And we wasted our entire life grinding for wedges we probably won't ever use. But what we're gonna start now is once again ascend every single character to max. I already told you that before. And also every single weapon. This is where it gets really unfun. And you're gonna farm a lot of defense. Just farm the highest state you could possibly do AFK. And use the ×2 commission manuals on the third wave and then leave. Okay, now you're level 55. Congratulations. Now let's do it all again, but even slower. I also doubt that at this point there won't be much left that I can teach you, but I'm still here to give you guidance. The first step is the same as before, right? We fully ascend our main characters, Rebecca's E and Lin's Q. Also fully ascend, but not level weapons. Also fully ascend and not level characters. Those are our main priorities. You also have the ability now to farm for yellow wedges. I don't want you to do that just yet, because they're still horrible in terms of time per trial EXP, and they're also kind of expensive to craft, and since you're crafting all those weapons, you're gonna have no money. Since our avenues of Trile XP are getting slimmer and slimmer due to us having already completed most demon wedges, there's not a whole left to do. And the single best one at this time is, as I said, weapons and also Geniemons. For Geniemons, please just refer to the other video I did, the last one before this. I think I did a pretty good job in explaining how they work and why they're a good source of Trile XP. For weapons, I'm terribly sorry to tell you, but you're looking at 530,000 coins and 300 gold just to craft one. That doesn't include the actual upgrading of it yet. And it's going to be a crazy grind to get everything done, but there's simply no other option. Now, a great moment to start running the Psyche event again. You should probably have gotten a lot stronger ever since you've done it the last time. The teams are still the same unless you have gotten Psyche, and then yeah, you want to run Psyche, Truffle, and Daphne, and make sure to actually level up Daphne's skills at this point. And now we hit somewhat of a crossroad, because we have to make a decision whether or not we actually want to use our commission manuals. Now, I spent a little bit of money. I think I spent a total of like 15 bucks on this game. And I bought some 2000% manuals just for mediation because I hated mediation this much. But let's go through all of the modes. So, for hedge, the 60 stage was actually really easy. So you don't use them there. Defense, you can X3 on the last reward, but I would just recommend you doing the X2 on the last reward. For high level defense, I don't even think that doing high level defense is necessarily worth it. I don't think that talents are that great, but if you want to do it, just do them ×2. Just do them a bunch of ×2 on every single wave, or do 1×8, but 1×8 here is a bit aggressive. Mediation is such a pain and I hate it. I popped all of my books there because I just couldn't get over how long it took to upgrade weapons. Excavation, we are probably using ×2 on the last 2 rewards until we get to maze later, and as soon as we hit try level 60 we're never touching excavation again, and we're only gonna farm maze for money. Okay, golden wedges, the next thing. Once you've done everything, you've ascended every single character, you've ascended every single weapon to max, now's where you actually can start farming golden wedges. By this point you already know how it works. It's still not a great way of getting Trile XP, but it's good enough. It's somewhat expensive. It's really, really, really grindy, and it's super RNG dependent. But at this point, you ran out of all the other ways of making Trile XP. So, upgrading all weapons, having all wedges, and all characters should have gotten you around level 60. And to get to 65, it's just more of the same. Ascend everything. Farm more gold wedges, ascend your gold wedges, farm more Geniemon, and that's the entire loop until you're 65. I hope this helped you. I tried to make this as short as possible. If I missed something, please let me know. If you have any questions that I haven't already answered in this video, feel free to ask away. I'm not going to answer any questions that I obviously answered in this video. If I've been ambiguous, I will try to explain as much as I can in the comments. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye bye.